Mayor Olivia Chow is speaking at the Toronto Shelter Network conference this morning. Let's listen in.
And the song that she said, she occasionally, not just dealing with people that are homeless or people that need food, she also run programs as a volunteer. One of the programs is karaoke. Yeah, imagine. And that her favorite song is Lean on Me. Right? It captures what all of you are about, what all the agencies here is about, that we lean on each other, because there are times when we do well, there are times when we don't do well, all parts of our life, and we know that. We happen to be here, mostly housed, mostly have food. But perhaps some of you have not had that before, or that there were a critical moment in your life where you're able to change and find your power. My dad had mental health illness when he got to Canada because he was so bitter and frustrated he couldn't find a job. He was a teacher. And as a teacher, I will stop getting distracted by this. As a teacher, all his life, the school superintendent, he couldn't find a job here in Canada, even though he spoke fluent English. He lost it, and he started getting quite violent. I finally got my mom moving out with me to live with me when I became financially independent, and he lived by himself. But he would often use his balcony to feed the pigeon. Imagine what people underneath him say. He would play his piano in the middle of the night. You can imagine what the neighbors said. And it was only because he had a daughter that knows the ropes, so to speak, and able to pay the rent and negotiate with the landlord. In this case, it was Medallion. He didn't get evicted. It could have easily been on the street. So in many ways, people living on the street could be a neighbor, could be a relative, could be a friend. It could just happen. And there's something about Lean on Me that captures how we need to approach working on this, help giving people hope of finding shelter, finding housing. Often we work in silos. Homelessness and shelter in one area. I'm just talking about City Hall. The Housing Secretariat over here. Mental health over here, support. Public health nurses over here. And then drug addiction treatment over here, etc., etc., etc. OW, another place. What we need to do is to think of how, because there's only one person that we are thinking about. What kind of holistic approach do we need to build a system that are centered on the person, not on all the administrative silos or all the associations and all the agencies, because it's so easy to be trapped by that. Easy for me to say because I'm not in the front line. But often we need to just keep imagining and be empathetic about what that person really are saying. And how we're not just going to do things because for that person. Because that does not give that person the power. It has to be what that person, not only what that person wants, but also how, by what we're doing, give agency, give power, give hope to that person. They could change. They feel they could have the power to change their life. And when we look
Okay, we've been listening in to Mayor Olivia Chow speaking at the Toronto Shelter Network conference this morning.